going on, guys? Black Scout Survival Late Night Live. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry, my ring light's in the way. Anyhow, I wasn't planning on doing a live tonight, but man, I thought I wanted to get this out there just because this is something I've been speculating. Actually, I've been talking about it with some folks for quite some time, and it turned out to be true. And the thing is that I'm wondering if this is like just the beginning. Now that this is out there, and the amount of psychopaths that are among us, could this just be the beginning of this, right? People are willing to do crazy things. We know that for causes. You know, they'll climate change activists, they'll chain themselves to like bridges, they'll cement their hands to structures. You know, they'll get naked and put animal blood all over them. And then you have climate change activists that, you know, will set themselves on fire. And if you remember last year, actually, 25 April 2022, U.S. climate activist dies after setting himself on fire outside Supreme Court. Wayne Bruce, 50 years old from Colorado, said he'd been planning self-immolation for a year, died on Saturday from his injuries. So this isn't something that is new. This is something that people do. There are crazy people out there willing to do crazy things for causes. And so, yeah, Earth Day. But you may naively believe that they wouldn't be willing to die for these radical causes. But if they'll do it for climate change, don't you think they'll do it for, let's say, firearms, Second Amendment, taking away guns? If you guys remember the Louisville bank shooter we talked about the other week, his manifesto has been released. And if you don't know much about it, Connor Sturgeon's his name. He actually live streamed this massacre on Instagram, and using an AR-15, he killed 63-year-old Tommy Elliott, 64-year-old Jim Tutt, 40-year-old Joshua Barrick, and Juliana Farmer, 45 years old, and Deanna Eckert, 57 years old. So the media announced that the 13-page manifesto had been released outlining 3 key reasons for this rampage that left 5 co-workers dead. Also, a police officer was shot. If you look here, one of them was mental health issues. But you see here, he wanted to hope to showcase how easy it was to buy a gun in Kentucky, and then wanted to highlight the mental health crisis, right? So this guy right here, this psychopath, wanted to show how easy it was to get a AR-15 specifically, and then go on a little killing spree, right? He was a leftist, by the way. He's a leftist. But he wanted to show how easy it was to get an AR-15, okay? Then, you know, he wrote he legally purchased the firearm from a local gun dealership just 6 days before the shooting. His family also said that he had been talking about some mental health issues. And but the thing is the media is really playing up this mental health issue thing. Like, they always want to make themselves a victim. If you ever notice that, like a leftist, when a leftist commits a crime, it's always because they're the victim of something, not because they're a psychopath, you know. And isn't that crazy? For what some people's political opinion is, they're either placed as a villain or a victim. It's wild to me. It's wild to me, you know. But this kid's sick, obviously. But the other sick thing is that they're auctioning off his AR-15. So someone in the town can go buy his AR-15 that was used to kill people. That's crazy to me, right? But if you remember Audrey Hill, right, her manifesto, she wrote a manifesto. They don't want to release it. She's the trans Jew that shot the Christian kids at school. They don't want to release it. Do you think they don't want to release it because it could hurt that whole community? Number one, a certain community, it could damage, right? But they say it's a blueprint for total destruction. So they right here, if you look here, National Shooter Audrey Hill's manifesto is a blueprint on total destruction. The FBI is stalling release, according to local politicians. Astronomically dangerous, quote unquote. Representative Tim Burkett told the Post he knew the FBI was behind the delay, saying the news was disappointing and calling for documents to be released to the grieving loved ones. The manifesto could maybe tell us a little bit about what's going on inside of her head, he added. I will let know answer these questions. 20 journals, 5 laptops, a suicide note, and various other notes written by Hill. She shared with her parents, as well as 2 memoirs. So a lot of damaging stuff here, right? Well, I don't know why that happened. Astronomically dangerous. So, again, they try to play the victim mentality to her. If you recall, they said because, even the White House, all mental health is a thing. They're attacking the trans community and these sort of things. They're trying to cover up for these killers, these murderers, just because of whatever the political affiliation is. Just mind-blowing. Like, evil people are evil. Like, I wouldn't care who you voted for. I don't freaking care if we're related. Like, you go on killing people, like you're evil, you're bad. You're not gonna get the victim card, right? But then it's just now, are we gonna start seeing these? Should we be prepared now? Because every time there's a shooting, Joe Biden stands up on the podium, beating it, talking about let's take them AR-15s. And the public a little bit more cross over the line. Yeah, let's give them up. I'm gonna go chop mine up. I'm gonna go chop mine up. You hear these guys saying this kind of stuff. I'm gonna go turn mine in. A little bit by a little bit, they're getting sensationalized. I'm almost quite certain that lady had it written, probably in hers as well, that she wanted to get firearms taken as well. She was going to do this for the cause. And every time, like, I mean, we've all had the theories, and I think the past, other than this guy, Connor Sturgeon, I think the past 5 or 6 were part of a certain community, right? And we had, like I said, we had this inclination that this was happening, that maybe these folks, because a lot of them were leftist, are doing this, extreme leftists at that, doing these crimes. The thing is that it's an extreme leftist. Connor Sturgeon is extreme leftist. Now all of a sudden he has AR-15. The girl that shoots up the school, trans, has buys AR-15. They're not on the right. They're not pro 2A, right? And the thing is I grew up in the country. I know a lot of people that you would call rednecks or hillbillies that don't own AR-15s. They own plenty of firearms, but they don't even own AR-15, right? They're huge gun owners, and they don't even own an AR-15. So you mean to tell me someone who's anti-gun goes and buys an AR-15? Like, make it make sense. We know what the real deal is, but if the role was reversed, like, it'd be right-wing extremism. All the manifesto would be released that day, right? Anarchy, like anarchy says, never let your crisis go to waste, and that's how it always is. And now they're making the crisis, right? They're making them. They're magically making them happen. But they'll protect leftists at all costs, just because of political affiliation for votes. It's wild. Our country's letting us down so much, and it's not even just Democrats, it's Republicans too. Like, just by and large, it is rotten. It's rotten. And to me, in my opinion, the only way to get out of this is to vote all new blood in and get term limits. There's no way that we're going to be able to survive in this fashion, right? I've even seen, like, we're basically in. If you think you have freedom, you don't have it, right? I've been to other countries that are not as, I guess, have the modern luxuries we have here, that have way more freedom, right? That are supposedly not free countries. You don't have freedom here, and you know, people are like, oh, you know, we don't want socialism to happen. It's already happening. You're in socialism, okay? You know, I saw Biden just is making a bill that if you make over a certain amount of, you have a credit score of a certain amount, you go buy a house, they're going to take 1% of that and give to someone with a lower credit score, right? So because you didn't want to work hard in life, you wanted to sit home and raise the kids while you're able-bodied man. You wanted to sit home and raise your kids, fool around with, you know, remote controlled cars while your wife's out there working. Now, us hardworking folks have to pay for you to be able to get your, pay for you to get a house. Like, it's wild. And you're able-bodied, sitting there on food stamps. It's crazy. It's socialism, right? But then we also have, like this video here, this trans activist making threats. Let's play this video. This is fresh. This is fresh off the press. This is going around today.
Back a wild animal into a corner, they're going to become a dangerous animal. So if you want to die on that hill of yours of righteousness and moral majority, then you go right ahead. I dare you to try and stop me from going into a women's bathroom. It will be the last mistake you ever make. I dare you to try and stop a transgender woman in my presence from using the bathroom. It will be the last mistake you ever make.
Yeah, I got daughters. That wouldn't happen. Sorry. Let me know where you're at. We'll come put your statement to test.
This is a call to action and a call to arms to everybody within the United States that are.
Do you think the FBI is raiding this individual's home for saying call to action or call to arms? Could you imagine if anyone else on a right-leaning side said that? You'd be getting raided by the FBI, 100%.
Scared, worried, have children that are transgender, lesbian, bi, or gay. This is a call to action. You need to arm up. Plain and simple. Go out, buy a gun. Learn how to use it efficiently, through and through, because the time to act is now. You need to protect yourself, and you need to protect your fellow transgender brothers and sisters and theys and thems. You need to protect the rest of us in the LGBT community, as I'm going to do myself, because there are lots of people like me who are not afraid to die. I love my girlfriends to death, but I would rather.
You heard it. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Not afraid to die. Not afraid to die for a cause, right? Connor Sturgeon's message. We don't know what Audrey Hill's manifesto is. We've seen Connor Sturgeon's. Audrey Hill's could be the very same thing. Anyhow, keep letting it roll.
Die for them to secure their safety, freedom, and future, than to live and not have anything done. So you go ahead. You protect your kids.
So yeah. Thanks, Kathy Irvin. Anyway, so yeah, that's that call to arms. Hopefully, I mean, you would think the FBI would do something about it, but probably not. You know, this guy's wanting to die because wanting to go into a bathroom with women and young girls. You know, we live in a new world. Like I said, if I gave you a time machine, went back 15 years ago, you'd be like, nah, you're lying, man. No, I did not hear about that firearms company that you're talking about. Anyway, guys, I wanted to drop this information. I'm going to be doing quite a bit of content over the next few days. So stand by. Make sure you watch. Make sure you comment. Make sure you like and all that sort of stuff. Just, you know, always be frosty, straight, and dangerous, guys. It's not just a cool saying. It is cool. Let's call it what it is. It's cool, but it's not just a cool saying. It's legitimate, and I say it every day because we all need to be reminded. We can't be complacent. You know, I mean, complacency kills. We know that. But we have little psychopaths willing to die for a cause they believe in, right? A radical cause. You think they call it a right? They say right-wing extremists. Do they call these type of individuals left-wing extremists? No, you've never heard that term. You never heard left-wing extremists. To them, they don't exist because all left-wingers are extremists, in my opinion. All of them are all the way on that side of the fence. There's no moderate Democrats anymore. If you notice, I haven't. All of them are extremists. That's why you saw, was it North Carolina, the Democrat senator or House representative, I can't remember, flipped. I think the House flipped to Republican while in office because, yeah. Thank you. So yeah, even the quote unquote moderates are waking up and flipping. You know, but anyhow, serious video. Show this video to everyone you know, especially the women, because you have guys like this out there that are willing to die to go in the bathroom with your wife and your little girls. Okay. So anyhow, guys, stay frosty, strapped, and dangerous. Leave a comment, like, share, show everyone that you know this video. Anyhow, guys, take care. Have a good Saturday night. Hope you had a good Saturday night. Have a great Sunday. Take care.